Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good day. It is 11:30 a.m. here in Chicago. As you join me, please let me know where you're joining me from. I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive impact coach, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another Let's Chat about embracing your life, how we can heighten our celebrations and lessen our sorrows through a positive focus. And I always like to remind people, especially if you're new to me, a couple of things about these discussions. One is I am not a big believer in always or never and absolutes. I've done things that I've said I would never do before. So I live on a scale of 0 to 100, and 0 being always unkind, 100 being always kind. I personally don't know anybody who lives in either of those realms. So I work on staying in the 80 to 100% for myself and the people that I coach. We work on that. I fall out of it, but I have the tools to step back into it. And then the second thing I like to remind people is I'm a coach. I love helping and supporting you and cheering you on to create your dreams, but I am not a therapist or a counselor. And sometimes people need that additional support to move through whatever they're going through in their life. So I highly encourage you, if you're in need of counseling and therapy, to look and search and find the right person to help you, because you deserve to feel good about yourself and good about life. But today I'm super excited because I have a guest, Melissa Bingham, joining me. And if you've been with me before, you know I like to focus on a word. And today we're going to be talking about intention and intentional living and what that means. But I wanted to go over the Merriam-Webster's definition first of intention. And that's what one intends to do or bring about. And then the definition for intend is to have in mind as a purpose or a goal. So, Melissa is a spiritual mentor, soul teacher, and author who helps spiritual seekers unlock the magic of intentional living through meditation, mentorship, and teachings. She is the founder of Everyday Living with Intention community, author of Today I Choose, a daily guide of living life with intention, and the host of Today I Choose podcast, which I was a recent guest of.
Mhm.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. And I'm going to just start by saying I love the intentionality at which you start these conversations by saying who you are, what you do, and what you don't. And that's just such an amazing gift you give to your listeners and to the world. And I love that you just know who you are and the intention by which you walk. So,
Thank you. Well, and I know from doing this for a while, it's so easy for people, like you put a meme out there and it's a meme that says always do this, or a mother's love is the best love. Well, a healthy mother's love is the best love. But there's a
yeah,
lot of people who have mothers who have their own wounds that they haven't
yeah,
healed from. So their love isn't the best love. It's what they're used to. So
right.
I just like to remind people that there's
Yeah,
7 billion people out there. There's going to be an exception for almost every rule, if not every rule.
absolutely.
So what would you like to talk to about on intentions, and what are we going to?
Well, it's funny when you say that about, the spectrum of 0 to 100 and just what you said about, the differences in um, the absolutes. To me, there are no absolutes. There's no absolute right way to meditate. There's no absolute right way to pray. There's no absolute right way to set an intention. And it's funny because I tell people that, I there are days I set my intention, and I'll talk about how all of it started here in a minute. But there are days I set my intention. I'm in my room. I did my meditation. I've set my intention, and I get up and I walk out into my house. And I live with four people, three children and a husband, and three cats. And immediately, whatever my intention was just falls flat onto my face. But it's that I took the time. It's part of. I love that you read the definition of intention, and in my book, I talk about, it says to intend is to have a course of action as one's purpose. And so really starting those days, starting every day, which I'm rounding the 10th year of this practice of setting a daily intention. It all started in, would have been 2012 when I was literally on an airplane in Key West, Florida, and we were flying back to Chicago, where I lived at the time. And currently I live in California. If you can see, this is my backyard and the beautiful redwoods that I brought our redwood friends with us today, because they are so powerful in helping set intentions.
Redwoods are on my bucket list. I have never seen them in person. So,
They're spectacular. I feel very special that I have about 8 of them in our yard. So they're pretty special trees. Um, but anyway, I am a writer, and I was really feeling blocked and having trouble, really getting words on the paper. And I was sitting on this airplane and I was ready to go. And I heard the words, write one sentence a day and start with today I choose. And so I was like, interesting. And so it really, the practice of setting a daily intention, and I had been doing a lot of work. I was, at the time, I was finishing my practitioner training. I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner through Centers for Spiritual Living. And I was
where I
finishing
met
my
you
practice.
at.
That's right. We met at Bodie in Chicago. And so this whole idea of today I choose started. And so for a while I just wrote them to myself, but then I decided I was going to keep myself accountable. And so I started just pasting it on my general Facebook page. And to me, the idea of intention setting is really this, that we are at choice always. And that that it to me is different than goal setting. It's different than, it's not a to-do list. It's really, it's the energy behind it all. It's that I'm intending to do. So this morning when I woke up, and I'll talk you through my daily practice with it all, but when I woke up this morning, my intention, I did my morning pages, which is, write journaling 3 pages a day. And at the end of it, I heard very clearly, today is yes to me. And so my intention today was, today I choose to embrace yes for me. And so what does that mean? I don't know. So I play with it throughout the day. And then, so it's grown into this whole movement, and I've written 2 books about it, and they're called Today I Choose. This is the first one. And then this came out in 2016. And then this one came out in, 2020. This is the proof copy. This is my husband's, and I brought it because I wanted to show basically what it is. It's like a page a day book where you put, you get to either read my intention, and my intent with the book was really to provide it as either guidance for somebody that just, like you'd have those page a day calendars. So you'd look at that, you'd have that kind of guidance for where does that intention show up in your life? How does that look for you? Or you can use it as what I call an oracle, where a lot of times I do this with all books. I hold them in my hand, close my eyes, and I say, what do I need to know from this book? And then I just open it to whatever page it is. And so I just opened July 3rd, and it says, today I choose to look at old issues as if I'm seeing them for the first time and let a beautiful new solution emerge. That's good.
I like it. Just before you go on, there's several people who are joining us, and it looks like they're from our Embrace Your Life community because it doesn't say names on some of them. So after we're over, I will go back and make sure to comment on there. Nick is joining us, and he has a question which I'll bring up in a little bit too, but I told him.
Welcome everybody. Hi. Glad you're here. And then the reason I brought my husband's book, because I wanted to show you the other thing that I encourage people to do with this book, is write their own intention. I got to get my camera and I'm backwards. I'm like, wait, where am I going?
I'm trying to show something.
So, that's so weird. Anyway. But so here's what my intention is, but then he writes his own intention, and then he's writing gratefuls in here too. But so the book is spacious so that you could write, your own intentions, or, do all of that. So, it's been a fun, putting this together, those 2 books has been a fun process. And then it's grown into this whole community because I did 1 year, I did holiday seasons with intention, where I did a practice from Thanksgiving to New Year's, where we had weekly connections. I had a group of about, 13 people that we had a Facebook private group of daily intention setting. And then I did some teaching each week about how to navigate the holidays with intention and with being grounded and present. And really, you know, when I go about setting an intention each morning, to me, intentions come from my heart. It's something that either drops in from the divine, bubbles up from Mother Earth. It's not something I'm thinking. I'm not in my head. It's not like every day. I don't sit there every day and say, "Oh, what's my
What's my
intention
intention?
today? I gotta figure." You know, it's not a clenched fist kind of. Oh, what am I intending for today? It's more. It's that usually I what I do in the mornings. I do it either one of two ways. When I first wake up, I either lay there in bed and I just breathe for a few minutes, close my eyes, put my hands on my heart, and just listen. What is my intention for today? And then other times, I have a practice of getting up in the morning and meditating for 30 minutes. A lot of times my intention will drop in after that meditation. And so out of that group that we did the holiday season with intention, a couple of people were like, well, we can't quit now. And so it's turned into this beautiful community on Facebook called Everyday Living with Intention. And we have a group of us that set an intention every day. And we have some people that just drop in and read people's intention or inspired by in people's intention. Others post intentions. It's a promotion free space. It's just really all about intentions. And I lead some meditations in there. I do some other teaching, and so it's become an amazing thing. And then this year evolved into the podcast called Today I Choose, which is all about telling stories of people living intentional lives and what intention means to other people, because it means so many different things to so many different people. But there's always that seed to me of that divine spark. It's that, it's being in co-creation with spirit when we put out that intention and then listen. And again, the other thing with intention, I would say, and then I'll let you ask me questions because I realize I'm rambling, but there's so much to say. But again, with the intention, it's not something that I'm, as I said in the beginning, it's something some days I set it and I walk out my room and it's like, what, where'd that go? I fall flat. It's not something I'm holding on tightly to. I mean, there are days that I'll set my intention and then just like when we're in meditation, we let those thoughts slip away. I'll let it slip away. And then at the end of the day, maybe I'll revisit it and say, oh, how did that show up today? What did that look like in my life? And so I'm not forcing an intention. I'm not, willing it, I'm not holding it so tightly.
Yeah.
It's just that guiding principle and that practice. And it is that practice of being in daily co-creation with spirit.
I love that. I do a couple of things, and I can't believe I don't set an intention every day. But I've been doing lately where I post repeat after me and
I've
have
seen those.
people
Yeah.
just repeat after, and it's, something to uplift and inspire kind of thing.
Hmm.
And something I do for myself is each day I choose a quality that I want to embody for the day. And so I
Hmm.
just kind of check in with myself. It's like, oh, today I'm feeling a little vulnerable, so maybe today's quality is be gentle with myself and others.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, oh, I'm ready to go, and it's passion. Or so I have I think 13 different words I choose from. And it's not like I'm thinking about that word all day long, but it does usually come back, especially if I get frustrated about something. I was like, but
Yeah.
that frustrated wasn't my choice today. So
Yeah.
how can I go back into using, um, embodying the quality that I want to show up as?
Well, to me, that's setting an intention. I mean, everything you just said is setting intention. You don't have to use the words "today I choose." It's just the moniker and the mantra that has
Yeah.
manifested for me. But it sounds to me like you do set a daily intention. And as we talked when you were on my podcast, I see so much, and all of the work that you do is being so intentional. And the hugs, the positivity, all of it, you are out there with intention and in co-creation creating a better world.
Yeah. So and thank you for that, when you get your morning intention, and as you say
Hmm.
that you're letting it come to you, and like the
Hmm.
one that you just shared
Hmm.
about facing, have you had any that you're like, not sure I want to go there today, or that
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
feel okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That. And then, my one friend kept texting me when I first started this. She's like, when are you going to choose red wine? I'm like, and there are days I did something silly recently. I can't remember because I woke up in a silly mood and I was I don't remember what it was, but people thought it was really funny. I just was, and of course, I put a bunch of emojis laughing by it. But yeah, there are days that I'm like, oh, what is going to show up if I say this, or why did I set that intention? Because clearly that's, it's like when we start to work on something, all those things that we need to clear away and
Yeah,
work through. And it's that shadow side that shows up. And, but that's, to me, that's the work. That's, and it's the noticing, and it's you know, being in a place where I can respond instead of react.
yeah,
Just like you talked about being frustrated. There are days, I mean, I got 3 teenagers. There are days I am frustrated. But, I came downstairs a minute ago and the kitchen's a disaster zone. And I was like, oh, but I'm conscious of it. I've grown up, I grew up in a very metaphysical house. I come from a long line of metaphysicians and alchemists, and the intention piece to me is such a vital part of it. And the days that I do fall flat, the days that I do get frustrated, it just reminds me that I'm still doing my work. We're all human. We all, I used to have such a complex about not putting myself out there with all of this because I'm not perfect at it.
right,
Well, I'm sorry, none of us are. Like you said, it's that scale from 100, 0 to 100.
right.
And, I always remember a story that Reverend Daryl Jones told, and I always give him credit at a class I took in Bodie. And he talked about, and I see this as intention. It's like, an airplane going from San Francisco to Chicago does not fly in that straight line we see on a map. It's always doing these little course corrections. It's pointed towards Chicago, but it might drift off a little bit here, and then it comes back, and it drifts a little bit to the other way and comes back. And what spiritual practice and intention setting and all of the tools that I use make it so that I don't take a turn to El Paso instead of Chicago. It makes it so that I can gently come back quicker. And that to me is the magic of intentional living.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's the same thing as far as when you hear like one step forward, two steps back.
Mm-hmm.
Those hiccups in life are also giving you the opportunity to look at things in a different perspective than it
Mm-hmm.
just being as straightforward. And even though sometimes I want to get from point A to point B like that,
Yeah.
if I did, I miss some of the beauty in the mess. Like I am directionally challenged. So GPS is on in my car, even when I go someplace that I've gone to a lot, because I will be singing or off in space and miss my turn kind of thing. But even then, like I end up someplace where I'm not expecting and I'll see some beautiful tree or there's so many different
Mm-hmm.
things. And because I know of my directionally challenge, I tend to leave way early for appointments so I'm not late to them. But it's something about the, letting go of that expectation too. And when I work with people with kindness, I mean, that is absolutely like I'm not kind 100% of the time because I've
Mm-hmm.
made it a daily practice. I am kind the majority of the time. And
Mm-hmm.
generally speaking, my unkindness is pointed towards me
Right.
on, and I've done it before. Like I'll get off one of these lives. I'm like, why didn't you say that? Or you should have said this, or those
Yeah.
kind. I'm like, what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
just telling people to be kind to themselves, and you're already not being kind to yourself. So, what you had said about the intention, I think it's about for me the setting the intention is keeping you aware of it. You
Mm-hmm.
may fall out of it, but it's
Yep.
something that's setting the awareness and when we're aware and not on autopilot, we can either
Yeah.
stay the course or shift to what we want it to be. But when we're on autopilot, we're letting life lead us instead of us leading life. So,
Well, and it has so much to do with being present. And
yeah,
again, it's the journey, not the destination. We can see the destination out there, but again, if we're not paying attention to each little step or each moment, and I think if this past year has taught us anything, this 15 months, whatever, how long it's been now,
6 years,
has
I believe. It
6 years,
feels
you
like
believe?
six
Yeah, it
years.
feels like a lifetime. But again, it is like taking the time to appreciate the day, to appreciate where you are, and really the intentionality of living your life. It's like every day is a gift. And we can freak out about viruses and climate change and fires and all of those things, but I keep coming back to right now. Come back to now. Come back to now. Whatever. And one of my mantras is really, I have everything I need in this moment. And being really intentional with being present and being present. I have less than whatever, August, September. I have less than 2.5 months till my oldest daughter goes to college. And so I'm being very intentional with each day. And I'm not focusing on that date in September. I'm focusing on today. And what are we going to do today? And it's like being present. And so I think that is so much, that is living an intentional life.
Yeah, and I think even the being present and I have everything I need today, it's a good example that the majority of us do. But there are people who are currently in
Mm-hmm.
harm's way. And when you're
Absolutely.
in that fight for your life type
Yep.
of environment, then
Yeah.
everything is different than
Right.
when you are in a space like maybe in 2 days, I know it's going to be a bad meeting or whatever, but right in this moment, I'm good. It's able to stay in that space.
And the thing that because even like the last 45 days have been really full for me and lots of different family obligations and things. And I haven't been as on my practice. And even, I look at our spiritual practice and, and I include intention setting, meditation, prayer, coaching, counseling, energy work, all of that is part of my daily practice. And what it gives me is in those moments when I have to like be super present to what is happening, like, in 2017, we were evacuated for 8 days because of the fires here in Northern California. And I could lean into my practice, but it was all the work I'd done before
Yeah.
that I didn't, I could just do what I needed to do in the moment and not worry about having to, to make sure I was doing my 30-minute meditation perfectly or what, it's like it provides a foundation for which you stand on, that when something happens or when life throws you a curveball, that you at least have that foundation to stand on and you are able to do what you need to do in the moment from that place of power and groundedness and connection, even if you're not consciously thinking it. It's what is sustaining you in my
Yeah,
world.
yeah, because it's that daily practice. And I always talk about that as far as, embracing your life is easy and fun and joyful to do when things are going well, you're on
Great. Yeah.
vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's in those challenging moments and
Yeah.
finding, if you've made it a daily practice, that practice helps you get through those challenging
Mm-hmm.
moments and allows you to
Absolutely.
see. That's what my moniker is that the world is big and beautiful and messy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being able to find some beauty even within the mess. So I'm going to go back
Absolutely.
to Nick's question.
Yeah.
And Nick,
Somebody had a question.
Nick, I discussed this a few weeks ago but I'm going to get Melissa's take. Actually,
Okay.
I have not take one of them. I still need to discuss, so we're going to go there today. Um,
All right. Let's
so,
do it.
how can you add like intention around this? I guess is what I'm going to say. The question isn't really about intention. How can you be positive with chronic pain and anxiety?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, let's just own it. It's
Yeah.
not easy. And I think, you know, I heard something yesterday that somebody was basically beating themselves up because they couldn't think their way out of it, right? They
Mm,
can't. It is, to me, it's owning it all in those moments, right? If you can get to a place where you can recognize where you are, and then it's in the surrender, and it's asking for help. My favorite question is show me what to do, show me how to get through this, show me, I surrender, I don't know, help me. And then it's, I had this situation happen in late May that took me to my knees, and I was really actually down for the count for a couple of days, and it was an emotional trauma that opened something up that's ancient in me. And it took me like 2.5 days of really being just unable to get out of bed to the get me to a place where I could send a text to somebody that I knew could help me. And that's that the place of being positive. You know, how you get there, Nick, for me is more often than not is reaching out to somebody that can help me, reaching out to getting that support that I need, even if it's a prayer, if it's somebody just to listen, if it's somebody to hold you while you cry, whatever those things are.
Yeah.
That it really is not judging yourself for having the because we get into we can be in this positive world or in this spiritual world and I can't and I mean and I'm guilty of this too. Something happened earlier this week and I'm like, I shouldn't think that because it's going to manifest. And I'm like, for God's sakes, have you been doing this for 30 plus years? Actually, I've been doing this my whole life. And I'm like, you know better. But that ego mind kind of goes, I'm not doing it right. Yeah. So it just be gentle with yourself and reach out for help as you need. And yeah.
Yeah, and I would say I did cover talking about anxiety and giving a few tips. But again, just like I say at the beginning, sometimes you need more support than a
Mm-hmm.
coaching role. And even chronic pain is on a scale. I mean, my
Mm-hmm.
mom passed a couple years ago now, but she had chronic pain. And when it was 6 or 7, we knew it, but she was always at a 3, 4. And
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even tell because she had gotten so used to it that she did
Yeah.
not have visible signs to it. So I could tell when it was getting really unbearable for her, which would have meant it was probably be a 12 for my scale. But so I don't even know
Yeah.
what your scale of chronic pain is that you're dealing with, Nick. But first of all, you got to feel your feels to move through them
Yeah.
and be gentle with yourself in the process. And maybe even just start some affirmations on I'm feeling a little better day by day. I'm feeling better moment by moment. And I don't know if you follow Glennon Doyle or not, Melissa, but she's a favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "What can I do? What can I do that's right for the next best thing?" So it's
Mm-hmm.
not even like trying to get through tomorrow. Like right now, what is the next best thing that I can do to get me through this moment? So those are some suggestions.
Yeah. Have you seen Frozen 2?
I have.
Yeah. So it's on a song at the end, do the next right thing. And it's what is that one? And sometimes it's breath to breath.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
And Nick, I am not trained in breath work, but that is something also to look at is to start
Mm-hmm.
taking, what is it called? Where you take the 4 breaths in, then you hold it for 4, release on 4.
Yeah.
There's
And pranayama. Yeah.
Yeah. So even maybe try to do some breathing work to help you through the pain. And I highly encourage you to seek naturopaths and medical doctors. Like I am a
Mm-hmm.
believer that you do what is right for you and figure it out because you deserve to not feel
Yeah.
um, being in pain a lot. So,
Yeah. We
um,
always talk about prayer and the pill. It's all God.
yeah,
It's all
it is.
spirit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it goes both to those extremes again, that people
Mm-hmm.
who like you can't do medical and you can't do natural. It's like I'm a do what works for you kind of person. So
Exactly.
I hope that helps, Nick, and please let us know. I will see if I can find my talk maybe 2 weeks ago on anxiety and post it in here for you to review that too.
Great.
So what else as far as intention? How would you encourage people or invite people to start setting an intention? Maybe they don't have a daily practice and they're
Yeah.
not getting it from Spirit or Mother
Mm-hmm.
Earth. How do they connect to their own intention?
Just start. I mean, just if just breathe into it. Take a couple. Close your eyes. Let's do it right now. You game, Carol? Let's
Yes.
set an intention. All right. So I'm gonna just invite everybody. Just go ahead and if it's safe for driving, don't do this. Or not in the environment to close your eyes. Don't please. But if you can, just close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to just take your feet and just stomp them on the floor and feel your legs. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the earth under you, holding you up. Feel the chair that you're sitting in supporting you. Take a deep breath in. Just let your spine elongate. Imagine that there's just a string at the top of your head just pulling you up. And just take a few breaths here. And just invite your mind to settle for a few moments, letting go of whatever thoughts you might have. And just move your attention to your heart center. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. And just ask your heart, what do I need to know today? And just listen if a word pops in, maybe an image shows up in your mind. And if nothing comes, just go ahead with your mind and choose what you need today. Taking another deep breath. And just say to yourself, today I choose, and then whatever it was that showed up or you thought. And just notice how your body feels. Does it feel good as you say those words? Does it feel crunchy? And just recognizing that you're just putting it out there. Allowing yourself to open to whatever that might manifest today or however that might show up. Just inviting in your highest good, the highest good for all. Taking another deep, big breath in. Just going to invite you to reach your arms way out to the sides and just wrap them around you, giving yourself a great big hug. Imagining Carol's giving you that hug. Letting go and gently opening your eyes. Oh, look at the sun.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Something that came to me through that, which wasn't for me, but Nick, I would encourage you to do this practice and ask your heart, why does it need to feel this pain? What inside of you is hurting and wants to be seen? And be gentle and loving to yourself because it's showing up to be healed within you. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful.
well, if anybody has any more questions, let me know. Or otherwise, Melissa, is there anything else you want to cover? I know I'm going to
Look
have
at the
you.
sun.
I love that.
I know. I'm like, I don't know where to move, but this is the magic of the redwoods, I'm telling you.
Oh,
So,
they're on my
um,
bucket list. They're on my bucket list.
yeah.
I just took a screen capture so I can send you the picture of that
Thanks.
sun in there because it really is
Yeah. I'm
awesome.
like, where do I go? I don't know where that's coming from actually, but I'll take it. I like the filter. It's not a filter, people. Yeah, I'm sorry, what were you? I was all distracted by
Yeah, it was
yeah.
just, is there any last tips or tricks you would like to share?
The only thing I will just add, meditation is the foundation of this practice. And so I've been meditating for over 30 years and it ebbs and flows and changes and it's just part of who I am. And so I do have a weekly live meditation group that we meet on Mondays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Central, or no, 9 Central. I get all my time zones messed up. But it's on Zoom, and I do a little soul wisdom in the beginning, and then we meditate usually with a mantra for about 20-25 minutes. And we have a nice, really sweet group of people. So if you're interested in being a part of that, we're starting Monday. We're going to start a 7-week meditation series around Deepak Chopra's 7 spiritual laws of success. So I'm really excited to work with that material. And
Yeah, the link
yeah,
that you can put in the comments later.
absolutely. Yeah. I don't know how to do that, but yes, you'll show me. Yeah, you can go to todayichoose.me. I think that works. You tell me if it worked, Carol. If not, yeah, todayichoose.me is my website. There you can sign up to be a part of the meditation group. There is another meditation similar to what we did. Once you sign up for my mailing list, you'll get an email with a meditation about how to set intentions. And there's another magical sunlight thing that happens in that meditation too, which is, so I didn't know. Somebody emailed me and was like, "Have you seen that video?" I didn't see them anyway. And all the other things that I'm doing. I do teach classes occasionally. I'm doing some other things. I do private work with people, both spiritual counseling and energy work. So yeah. And if you'd like to be a part of the Facebook group, it's a private group called Everyday Living with Intention. You can find it publicly on Facebook. And then I also I have an Instagram. It's Today I Choose with Melissa, that I set a daily intention with a kind of fun graphic usually. Yeah, so
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's
yeah,
always a pleasure to catch up with you. And
absolutely.
I mean, come back again and we have so many different topics so we can
I
talk
love
about,
it. Yeah, let's do
and
it.
we can talk about intentions again because they're
Oh,
hopefully
it's
not going away and they're incredibly powerful, especially when you don't beat yourself up over
yeah,
them when
yeah,
you're not following through. We
yep,
all have those moments and then you just get back to making it a daily practice. So,
yep. You just keep going. Yeah, I mean, there are days. So I've had a couple of days where I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't set an intention. That's so weird. I've been doing this for so long." And then I'm like, some days most days I set it pretty early in the morning. Some days I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, my intention for today, it's like 5 o'clock." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So we call this a practice. It's a
yeah.
spiritual practice. We're practicing every day, and we do the best we can in the moment.
Yeah,
So
and some days or, when you're going through a hard time,
yeah,
the best you can isn't as good as yesterday, but it's the best you
exactly.
can right now, and that's
In
what
that moment,
counts. Yeah.
absolutely.
Sometimes I choose my word, like I usually choose it first thing in the morning, and sometimes like,
Hmm.
oh, it's 11 o'clock and I
Yeah,
haven't chosen it yet.
exactly.
Let's see, what did that frustration remind me I hadn't done
Exactly.
when I'm in a
Yeah.
meeting kind of thing. So
Yep.
excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Melissa, for joining
Thanks
me
for having
today.
me. Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow, and I'm going to be discussing insecurities and some tips to grow your self worth. Then next week, I'm not sure what I'm talking about on Tuesday yet, but on Thursday, I'm having Shauna Fisher back for her monthly visits on animal communication. So if you
Cool.
have a pet, living or past, and would like to get some messages, she is really, really good. And if we don't have comments, then I'm going to have her talk to my Mika, who has been gone for 18 months. So
Aw.
please come and ask questions, or otherwise it's going to be a session on Mika, which is fine too. But thank you again, Melissa, for joining me, and
Thank
thanks
you.
everyone for coming. And I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place here in Chicago. Remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most, 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 most importantly, you matter to you. So go out there and choose a kind, loving, compassionate, and peaceful day. We'll talk again soon. So long for
All
now.
right. Bye.